Yo, what's good with you, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, man. Today we doing our 2024 tier list for Naraka Bladepoint. Now let me say this real quick, y'all. This is not a solos, duos, nor is it a trios tier list. This is what I'm gonna call my all-around tier list. The reason why is because I kind of want to focus on a tier list where which characters are the best character in just about any game mode that you get into. I just wanted to really focus on like which characters do I think fit the all-around aesthetic of Naraka Bladepoint and where it's currently standing in 2024. So with that being said, let's jump into it. All right, so we're gonna start off in the C tier list, and I just want to say this, y'all, this is gonna be a little bit of a rapid fire thing only because I don't have an editor or anything like that. It's just me, and y'all already know I got to get ready to go to California soon, so I don't have that type of time on my hands. I do apologize, and I promise you the next time I'm back around, and maybe for the 2025 tier list, I can give y'all the craziest breakdown if you want. But for now, we'll just do it like this because you guys need a new tier list. So we obviously starting off in the C tier list, and no, Zaya's not in the C tier list. I can't click on a non-existent character, so she's just the last character that I was using. Who's actually gonna start us off in the C tier list is no other than Yodohime. Now I know, man, a lot of y'all might be thinking, damn, Tutti, Yodo. Yes. And my reason being, C tier this year is feeling more so like characters that are still good, they're still viable, you can definitely play them and use them. But if we're talking like currently where the game stands and where everybody else is, especially with the recent buffs and the changes and all the things that came into Naraka, I would have to say Yodo is falling a little short. But she's next up, I don't know exactly when, but she's coming up pretty damn soon on her buffs. So don't worry too much about that. I'm sure they're gonna make some real good changes to her and make her top tier again. Then after Yodo, we got Justina. Now, Justina's in here only because it just seems like her kit is getting left behind. It's not that she's a bad character because you can definitely dominate with her. And in solos, I'd probably even move her up to like that B+ area. But for right now, I would have to honestly say Justina is currently in every category of the game, like solos, duos, and trios. I mean, not like all the other things. I would say she's a C tier character. She's just waiting on her time to shine again with the buffs and the changes that they make, because she's one of the characters that is also on the waiting list for changes. And then last on the C tier list, we got Hottie. Now, Hottie's a really unique character, and he adds a different kind of, I guess pizzazz is the word that I want to use, to Naraka. Now, he's unique obviously because he's the only flying character in the game. And that would make you think like, damn, he should actually be a higher up character. Maybe in like a solo or duo sense, but if we're talking just well-rounded and everything, I'd have to say he's C. You can definitely teeter him in that B category if you get the right setup. As of right now, with the way everything is situated, I would have to say Hottie is C. That could definitely change in a few short months. Maybe somebody finds this meta and crazy team setup, and now you got one of the best teams ever, and it's all focused around Hottie. But as of right now, I'm gonna have to say C tier. Okay, now moving on into our B tier list, we gonna start it off right with that girl Viper. Now, Viper is in the B tier because I think she's still very well-rounded herself. I think she's still very valuable to every team play, duos. I think there's a slight fall off in the solo gameplay for her, but not too much. So I would say Viper is a solid B tier character right now in the game. Not in a shit spot, not in a great spot. Maybe some changes make her better, but as of right now, I think she's still solid. You can definitely win a good amount of games and outplay people using Viper. Next up in the B tier, we got Tianhai. Tianhai is a really good character in this game, but in my honest opinion, where I think Tianhai falls a little bit short is his Titan form where he transformed. It's really called the Vajra, but I like to call it the Titan. So out of all the characters that can transform, I would say Tianhai is a little behind the others, and to me, like as an all-around character, I just think they are better choices for team play. And even if we being honest, solo play, like Tianhai is not horrible as a character, but solos, that's where Tianhai is really gonna fall short. If we're just talking collectively, I think Tianhai is okay, but there are definitely better characters that can transform that provide just a little bit more value to a team. Next up, we got my man Tarka. Tarka's not at all in a bad spot in the game, which is why I put him at B tier. He's definitely a rush down character, so if you're playing in a team sense, he's definitely going to be your go-getter. Go out there, do a high bit of damage, get a lot of kills if you can, get people close enough to kill so that your team could eat off of your hard work. As of right now, his abilities is all, you know, they are exactly what they are. I think a buff could really throw him into like that A tier, possibly even S tier, depending on what they do. But as of right now, just like in a team setting, I know solo wise, he him. All around, I would say he's a solid character, solid pick in the right hands. As with any character, is going to be very dangerous and you got to watch out for him. But I think there are other go get him characters that just are a little bit of a better fit than he is right now. Next on the list, we got my girl Valda. Now I've been putting in a lot of time when it comes to Valda, and I truly love her. Biasly, I want to put her way higher than B tier, but I understand she's not what she once used to be. So I'm kind of joining the train late, and I'm missing out on when she used to be just like this dominant force in the game. Trust me, I do remember a lot of Valdas being out there, but either way it goes, I still really enjoy her. I think she's a really good control type of character in the game. And if you're throwing her in a team, I mean, you really just need to get one other character that's going to mesh with her really well, and then that third character can be whoever the hell you choose or desire it to be. But Valda, in an all-around sense, in every game mode, I don't think she really falls short, but she doesn't really stand out above the rest neither. But I mean, all around really solid character. I love her. Next up on the B tier list, we got my boy Baby Mag. I got him B tier, and I'm sure some people will probably even say C tier for him, but I'm not gonna disrespect like that. Baby Mag is a B tier and possibly even teetering on an A tier if you guys understand just how nutty he is with his kit. It's too good for him not to be a solid foundation or even a like support character on the team. I wouldn't necessarily focus my team around him, but I would definitely put him there because of what his ultimate can provide for himself and even for the team with the stun and then the ability to kind of knock people back and just combo and do crazy things off of that. Honestly, I think Liam, however you pronounce it, is very slept on, and he's a real good character in the game. Next up on the list, we got my boy Wu Chen. Now, Wu Chen is another character, in my mind anyways, that I think is teetering on that A tier list, especially after the buff they gave him with the Blaze Storm or the Storm Blaze, whichever way it is pronounced. That new ultimate, goated, chef's kiss. I think now he's just got so much versatility with his abilities that it makes him hard to not be like, this is a character we definitely need to pull into our team, which is why I say he's teetering on that A tier. You could build a team around Wu Chen. I think he's a solid character, so I got him right there, but we'll leave him at B tier for this. Like I said, he is teetering though. Then for the last character on our B tier list, we got Matari. Now, Matari is somebody that I struggle with a little bit because I thought long and hard about this, and I was like, I don't know. I was teetering on A tier, but I also thought maybe she's still just like in the B tier area though. Now, granted, this is still a jump up from my last video where I said she was a C tier. I was in the wrong. I would say Matari, you can make the argument for a B tier or an A tier character. I think the way they made changes to her abilities now are really good, and just again about the whole well-roundedness, I think she's one of the best well-rounded characters in the game as well. Oh man, the sky's the limits with Matari. Now moving on into our A tier list. Now real quick, these are some of the characters that are better than just like solid, cool characters all around the board. These guys and gals are definitely like right there. These are really good characters, really strong. Definitely will love them in solo play. In every team, I doubt that there's a single team that will look at you and be like, ew, why are you using this character? They ain't no good in the team and they ain't no good in the game. Starting us off with the A tier list, we got Yueshan. Now, Yueshan is one of the better transformers in the game. Not Optimus Prime or Megatron type of transformer, but a character that can transform into a giant. To me, he's better than Tianhai because of the mobility that his giant has, the range, and the damage. Even though I know Tianhai's giant can definitely put out some damage, the problem with it is you have to grab somebody and get a hold of them before you can really do that damage. But with Yueshan, he could kind of be a rush down type of character in the game. And a lot of the times that's what people use him for, is to apply some pressure. But for the common player, Yueshan's ability is really gonna be somewhat of a crowd control because people gonna run away as soon as you transform. And for the people that are bold enough to stay and fight, as long as you play your cards right and you use your abilities, abilities and, you know, really do some good damage, you're gonna get the best out of them. Next on our A tier list, we got my boy Akos. Now, Akos is on here just solely because he's another rush down type of character in this game. For a team, you really looking at Akos and you like, hey, how much damage you gonna do this game? You gonna drop a 30 bomb? What you want? You match him up with a good healer or somebody that is a really good controller, you gonna go crazy with him. I honestly, me personally, I would build my team around Akos because I would be like, all right, what can I do to try to better his chances of getting easy kills? Even if that's not the route you want to go, Akos has so much good mobility, especially when you use his ultimate, that he can kind of be his own, you know, rush down. I don't need nobody else's help. I'm gonna go out here and get some easy kills. So to me, I would say Akos is an A tier character all across the board, and you can't go wrong with picking him. Next up on our A tier list, we got my girl Zai. Again, just like the last two characters on this tier list, Zai is a rush down character. She is gonna be your high damage, high kill character, and essentially that's really what you want her for. You know what I mean? Like, you're not really expecting too much else from her because her abilities don't like super benefit the team. Since Naraka is so heavily based on kills, and especially when you're playing ranked, they reward you more for getting kills. Zai is definitely going to help you out with that, especially since she's got such a big AoE. When she uses her ultimate, she can get a good amount of enemies with that. She got burn damage. She's got the burn status effect. It's just a lot of good when using Zai, especially if you're somebody that wants to run down everything and do a lot of damage. The next character on this tier list is actually not a rush down character. I know, y'all, it felt like it was going to be all of them, but it's not. Next on the list is actually Shay. Biasly, I wanted to put her in the S tier, and that's just me being honest with y'all. I wanted to be very, very, very biased and put her up there, but I didn't. Now, Shay is A tier though because she's so good in solos and duos, and you could even make a case and run with her in trios. Honestly, she's just not going to be the main focus point because she's so heavily like defense based, and there are just a few characters that are actually really good against her when she uses her ult, like for example a Viper ult. For anybody that didn't know, if you get hit with that Viper ultimate, even while your ult's activated, you still gonna take damage. Take it from me, I've experienced it myself. It ain't fun. But outside from that, Shay really run rampant any other situation. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta really be good and use a ranged weapon, and if you're a good Shay, you just don't allow people to create that type of space and separation from you, and you just get them in an infinite lock of combos. She just has so much value for herself that she makes it easier for the team. So I mean, you already know how I feel about her. I love her, man. She's one of my favorite characters in this game. She's rightfully so deserving a A tier. Now for our next hero on this list, we got my boy Takeda. Now, Takeda is really, really good in, I think, every game mode that you can get him in, because we already know what he can do in solos, especially with his skills. His skills are very one-on-one based, and they prevent people from just constantly blue focus striking you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you get the one where you just activate it and you wait for somebody to use it stupidly. But where I think Takeda really shines, especially in the well-roundedness, is his ultimates. Especially if you get in the right team, or you got a group of guys or girls, whoever it may be, that you get into the game with, and you can combo off of his ult. And it's got really good range. It's got okay damage. You're not really there necessarily for the damage. You're really there to use that ability to kind of stun and give yourself more of an opportunity to get into a combo set, or your teammates a combo set. So it's really good for that, and it's nice that he gets to top himself off with the heals that he gets for his ultimate. So I would recommend using V1 or V3. V2 is cool. It definitely is a crowd control type of ability, but no one really uses it. And for our last character in the A tier, peep game, y'all, peep game. Your boys learned. We got Tamoch. Now, Tamoch is, in my opinion, one of the better crowd control characters because of what his tornado provides, which is essentially you get safety from ranged attacks. Anybody that dares to walk in, if they stupid enough to do that, if they walk into it and then try and walk out, or whatever way they do it, they're gonna be stunned because of the tornado effect. And that's so perfect for you because you get to make plays off of that. You get to use it almost like in Apex Legends with Gibby, and use it like a Gibby bubble and run in and out of it. And it's nice because if you get the right ability set on there, you can refresh your skill with it. You can refresh your stamina. It's like you got a lot of options with this. Your team could heal in there. Y'all just make so many plays. You can trap people in it. It's a lot. It's a lot you can do. I was definitely sleeping on Tamos the last time, and I had to do my research and play him myself a lot more to realize, wow, he's actually one of the better characters in the game. So there you have it, bro. And now finally for the S tier list. Obviously, it's self-explanatory. This is what I think are like the best well-rounded characters in the game. And starting us off, I gotta go Tessa. I'ma just call a spade, bro. Tessa's got so much usage out of all of her abilities that makes sense for solos, duos, and trios that it just did not make sense for me not to just say Tessa's a S tier character. For my tier list, I think that's where I'm gonna place her, is the first character in the S tier list. She's just got so much that she can actually do with her entire kit. It's all really good. Nothing on her is bad in my opinion. She's great. Next on this list, we got Zipping Yin. I know some of y'all gonna be like, nigga, is that a healer on your S tier? Yes it is. And the reason why is because they are healers. If you get into a game and you get a Zipping In, not somebody that's just trying to figure out, I'm talking about somebody that knows exactly what the hell they doing with her and how her kit works and what her abilities do. You tell me that you fought against somebody that's maybe in the China servers that's using a Zipping In and he didn't know, or she didn't know what the hell they was doing. I fought against plenty of them, and they are some of the most unkillable damn characters in the game, and they are so good in solos in every aspect, you know what I'm saying, especially in team play. Don't get one that's just constantly healing they team, man, stop. Next up is our second, well really she's the first healer in the game, Kurumi. Where Kurumi falls short, I guess, would be in solo play, but not by a landslide or anything like that. You can still run a decent Kurumi and be solid in solo play. Actually, you're still really hard to kill. You just kind of play around your ult more so than your skill, even though your skill is still good for like maybe even movement or a way to kind of knock people back. You're really playing off of Kurumi's ult because of how busted it is. It heals you really fast, and especially if you get the one where you stay in it, you keep getting healed over time, it's good. It's really good, and if you know what the hell you're doing, you almost unkillable too, and that's just in solo play. Kurumi's an S tier character. Next on the list is who I think is the best transforming character. That's Faria. The reason I said is because she can dish out so much damage with her ultimate. It's not even funny. She's got a great skill, solo wise, duo, trio, you name it. She got it like that for real. Like, she even has an ultimate where she can call the mech down and your teammates can jump into the mech instead of you jumping into the mech. Like, Faria is one of the best characters in the game, and I can't be convinced otherwise. To me, she's like top 5 best character in the entire game. And then last on the list, we got Keeling. I'ma be real. There was a part of me that thought maybe he's not S tier. Maybe he's an A tier character, and maybe he is. But at the same time, the value that you can get out of this man in solos or duos is crazy. Now, I'm saying those two mainly because I think he's gonna shine well above everybody else in those two. In trios, that's where I'm like, maybe he do fall just a tidbit short, and I would put him at A tier, but that's S, S, and A. So I'm gonna just round it up and say S tier. You already know, man, I've made a few videos on him already, and I can't get enough of actually getting into these games and just being able to essentially assert my dominance when I play with him, especially when you use his ult. Is so damn good to cause damage. And obviously he's a rush down character, so you could definitely build your team around him. And what I would do is probably go Kurumi. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a great character to use. And then whichever controller you really choose to, or who you would like to use, maybe even Tamoch. Now that is gonna do it for my tier list video, man. Like I said, I kind of wanted to go through this a little quick. I see I recorded for about 35 minutes, which is good, man, because I wanted to give you guys an updated tier list video in 2024, especially before 25 came out and before they made any more major changes to the game. So hope you guys liked it. If you didn't, tough titties, bro, because it was truly just my opinion on characters that I think fit into a specific tier list for me. If it helped you out, man, that's great. And hopefully you might have found your main, or you might have found somebody that you're like, damn, okay, so that's where they sit, at least in my mind. Okay, I'll give them a shot. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all have a blessed day. Have a great weekend whenever you catch this video. And as always, peace and hair grease.